This is, what episode is this? 5? I am
five.
losing count.
We gotta keep up.
I am losing count. Episode 5. It's a lot going on. This is episode 5 of Blassic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, this is me, your host Louis B, and
your boy. I'm sorry, let me do it again. It's your boy K-Rob. What's up, ladies? How you doing, fellas? What's up?
Oh my God, we are back for another installment, and I am so happy to be here. As I always say, man, thank you guys for your continued support. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for each and every view, each and every share, each and every comment, like. I promise you, it means the world to me. It's gonna mean so much when this shit blows up. I promise you, all the ones that have stayed down from the come up, it's gonna mean that much more. So I appreciate you guys for being on this journey. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, if you haven't guessed it now, which you may haven't, who knows? It depends on what your music palette is.
What they gonna do?
This is a movie that is really near and dear to my heart. The next movie that we are reviewing today, a Blassic, none other than IDLEWILD. Oh my God, listen, this is a movie that, honestly, I'll just go ahead and say it because I think it's the biggest thing with the movie. Like, the movie is a fucking musical, right?
Yeah.
It's a musical, and I hate musicals. That's just a tidbit about me. I don't know what it is. I feel like the singing disrupts the story. It disrupts the flow when folks break out into sing song. I'm not really a fan of musical style movies. However, that just goes to show the power of Outkast, because they can do no wrong. It's probably some bias in there, but I am perfectly okay with that. I don't give a shit. Listen, it's probably the only musical that I thoroughly enjoy. I love each and every musical part, partly because most of it came from the damn albums, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. I think the reason why I'm not a musical cat either, I think the reason why it is because it's used perfectly, like sparingly. It's like everything is not them singing. It's like they give you the pieces of story and then they go into the singing and it kind of matches what's going on. And is it singing? Most of it's singing, but it's not really
singing, rapping.
Really, yeah.
And then it's black. It's
right.
Black as fuck. And I think I love that. It shows the appreciation for what I would view that time period to look like for black people.
I think it's a very underrated movie, underappreciated. I don't like saying that. An underappreciated movie, and it was ahead. The time it was released, it was ahead of its time. Mm-hmm. I remember the movie came out when I was like in 11th grade, and I think that was right around the time when stuff started leaking on the internet, and that was a big thing. So that probably.
Fam, if you was in the 11th grade, I was probably like in the 7th or the 6th or some shit
probably
like that. I was a little kid, fam. But I do remember going to the movies to see it. Not sure if my mom understood it, but I remember when I was a little kid and I'm watching, I'm like, yo, something about this. This is hard. This is crazy.
I did not see it in the movie theater.
Really?
I honestly do. I didn't see it in the movie. I don't even remember how I saw it, to be honest, because I didn't see it in the movie theater.
Interesting. Huh.
Right. Which is wild because I was so excited for it.
And it's a Georgia-bred movie. The fuck is wrong with you, kid?
Motherfucker, I own the soundtrack, the DVD, I rented the bitch, I buy the Blu-ray.
He said I showed my support afterwards. You got
it. Okay. They're fine.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But listen, I think one of the best things about this movie, and it was weird, I think I was drawn to it being a musical because I loved the music that they did in the movie. It was interesting what they did because they went against the grain, I would say, in that, most movies would have a soundtrack that goes for the movie, but they had a soundtrack that was IDLEWILD. But if you really listen to IDLEWILD, you'll notice that a lot of the songs that are played in that aren't even in the film. But if you go back to the album that was released prior to in 2003, Speakerboxxx The Love Below, you'll hear a lot of the songs, a shit ton of the songs off that album in that movie.
Right. Which
is kind of interesting to me. I never really fully understood how that worked, but it worked well.
Right. So this kind of dips into the black facts that I usually go into based on what you're saying. The original working title of the movie was Speaker Box, basically named after the album or whatever.
Interesting.
And the film was originally written to be like a long form music video. After the success of the album, Speaker Box / The Love Below, they, it was encouraged by Outkast. They wanted to expand into a feature film.
Right.
It was going to premiere on HBO, but ultimately it was released in theaters because it is an HBO film.
So a lot of that music in front of it.
Right, so a lot of the music that you hear in the movie is from Speaker Box / Love Below. There's a song called Moving Cool. That was part of the album before that. So all that was...
That was like the greatest hits thing, wasn't it?
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, so a lot of that music was made before the production of the movie. So that's why a lot of the music in the movie we've probably previously heard.
So what was their... And this is probably just personal shit, but what was the point of them making a whole nother album that they didn't really use?
Well, I mean, they still have to have another album, so they still have to do another album. And
they probably said, we don't want y'all niggas fucking up our sound, so
no.
We're just gonna take control of it.
Of course, they're gonna put an album out to their own movie, so they're gonna make an album, and a lot of the songs probably
they could have did how they did ATL a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of that, they probably said, we got 3 or 4 songs that we already added to the movie that was left over from the other one, so we're going to put them here. And we got other tracks that we're working on.
Yeah.
So now we have a cohesive album, which came out to be, as older I get, I was like, oh, this is actually a slept on album as well. It's hard saying Outkast album is slept on because it's really not, but still within their realm, it's slept on.
Listen, if nobody's going to give Outkast their credit, which they already get it, but we're definitely going to give it to them.
Yeah.
We're definitely, the affinity that I have for Outkast is just so strong. I said it this morning, actually. I said, listen, I am going, some way, somehow, I am going to get Andre 3000 and Big Boy in the same room to interview them. And that interview is going to be over 3 hours long. I plan to talk about them. I plan to talk with them about their entire career. How the fuck is that going to happen? I have no idea, but I'm trying to, what B. Simone say, I'm trying to manifest this shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I hope they do a biopic. It's something between like them.
I want to be involved. Either like a long form interview or a documentary. I have to put it in stone. I want to be involved with that shit. If all of my life's work leads up to that moment, I would be satisfied at the completion of that.
Hey,
I'd be good.
There it is, y'all. Y'all heard it first.
Kev, go ahead and give us the black facts, man.
All right, so we're gonna get into the black facts. So the black facts is IDLEWILD was released in 2006. It stars Andre 3000, of course, Big Boy. It also stars Terrence Howard, Paula Jai Parker, Paula Patton, Cicely Tyson, Ben Vereen, Patti LaBelle,
Ving Rhames.
The Ving Rhames. I'm sorry, y'all. Trying to read. Macy Gray, Faison Love, Bruce, Melinda Williams, Jackie Long, Bill Nunn, and also the voice of Farnsworth Bentley.
Jesus, a tongue twister.
Right.
So much talent in one film.
Right.
To get that many people, not that many heavy hitters, schedules free at the same time.
Yeah,
that shit's dope.
I think, and if you look at it, there's a connection between everybody. You walk this is some of, to me, it seems like some of the usual suspects of people. But to continue, IDLEWILD is an actual place. IDLEWILD. It's not based in Georgia.
And
So IDLEWILD is an unincorporated community in Yates Township, located just east of Baldwin in southeast Lake County, a rural part of northwestern Lower Michigan. During the first half of the 20th century, it was one of the few resorts in the county where African Americans were allowed to vacation and purchase property before the discrimination was outlawed in 1964 through the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So just to set it up, the movie takes place in the 30s.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome because we rarely see movies. I like to see movies where we're in the West, those 30s and stuff like that, and you see black people being black people or whatever.
I like it.
And also, Brian Barber is the director of the film. Brian Barber is a film director, a successful music video director. He studied film at Clark Atlanta University, and his first music video was actually "Skewed on the Barbie" by Outkast. Directed most of
the common denominator,
right.
the nigga numerator.
He directed most of Outkast's music videos, and I think to date, we always say this. To date, this is his only major film credit. But that's pretty much all the black facts that I got for this one. So I mean, we just go into the movie, but
I like it. Shit, let's go ahead and break this down.
Yes.
All right. So basically, to start off, we are introduced to the kid versions of Rooster and Percival, which is an interesting
Percival
name.
Jenkins. Rooster ain't even I don't think that's a real nigga name. Is that a nickname? They never said it.
I don't think that's his real name either. It's not. It's definitely not.
He's from the streets though, so you should never know a nigga real name.
But I think it's cool that they show us who they are. You know, Rooster is the slick talker, fast talker, very smart, quick on his feet, good with the numbers, good with the math. And Percival, he's kind of like, how would you describe him?
Man, I think he was like I'm noticing on this time, he's a sheltered kid. And he likes music. He's probably closer to Andre 3000 than we know.
Listen, I was looking at that movie and his whole demeanor in that movie, I was kind of like, this just feels awful lot like him.
Yeah, it's probably
it's down.
Probably and some faction. It's probably fiction and then some facts in the movie. Yeah. So it's probably a kind of a good mixture. But yeah, I think he is sheltered. He was sheltered, you know, based on what we'll get into in the movie. But he's very much artist that just has to come out of his shell, which he does at the end of the movie. Good. So they pretty much go from there, from showing us them as kids, and I think it's pretty cool how they show us them in their adulthood. So Rooster has his family. He's working for, what's his name? He's working for Spats, played by Ving Rhames. Right, a gangster. Actually, at the beginning of the movie, he actually kind of becomes the top of the totem pole when Rooster's uncle died. So that I think is dope because you can kind of see like the lineage of stuff that's going on at that time. I think it's called bootlegging when they sell like illegal alcohol. That's the prohibition era. Yeah. Definitely. That's pretty dope. So you introduce to them the family, what they got going on, what ties them together, even though their lifestyles are totally different. Percival, he's doing this work for his dad. And his dad, he has a, what do you call that? A mortuary. You call that a mortuary. Hey, listen, I don't play with the dead. No. So he works with his dad for the mortuary. He, when the bodies come down there, amongst other things, they really just show him doing like the makeup and shit, but I'm sure he knows everything about that place. So I don't know if she practices it, but you know who's also a mortician? Who is that? Who's Monica? That's a side note. Like Monica can act. She's Monica, the singer. That's crazy. Right. She can actually do it if she wants to. She don't play with me. That's a side hustle. Gunica. She's like, I forgot what you call this. She has her in that. I just figured I'd throw that out there. That's crazy. So this is what they doing by day, and I love how they go straight to night. And it's the parallels. It feels like when they go to Cascade now. In Idlewild, their nighttime getaway in the town of Idlewild. Of course, we talking 1930s, like we said earlier. You got to get out and have some fun, man. So their let out is it's called the church. Right, church. It's an interesting place. This is, back in the 30s, folks is performing for real. Folks is getting up dancing, Soul Train lines before they were Soul Train lines. Everybody's going crazy. So it's beautiful to see this. And then I love seeing the performance by Rooster playing that bow tie song. I love the music just fit perfectly into the situation. It was beautiful, man, to see that many black people just free and having fun. Yeah, so the choreography that's in the movie is actually choreographed by Henson Battle. He's a famous choreographer, black guy, as a matter of fact. That I was just thinking as I was watching the movie. As you watch it, you see so many happy black people. They got what they got going on. But if you notice, like, there's no white people in the movie. So can you imagine? Did you think about that? There's no white people in this movie. Can you imagine what they had to deal with? That they have to dance in like pretty much barns and shit.
Not a single white person, not a smidge.
Can you imagine how that would have changed?
I didn't think about that. That's crazy.
Right. Like, can you imagine how they? Because you got to believe they were dealing with something along with that. But that's again, this is fiction, so that's dope. But yeah, so the church is ran by what's
Spats
his name?
at the time.
No. Church is actually ran by Sunshine Ace, Phase on Love.
Right.
And you know, he big boy Rooster works for him. He's probably much.
He had so much power and died so soon.
Right. I guess it was a long time coming. Spats was a guy who was kind of running the underground there. So what he was planning to do was, y'all can buy me out. I'm ready to get out the game. So he offered Sunshine Ace, and he said, if you want to buy me out, you know, y'all can have all my stuff. You can, whatever I got going on and I'm pushing, you can have it. That's where they came into it.
So from there, we're introduced to a lovely lady, Paula Patton, which I did some research. Back when she had started, I guess when we started seeing her for real, she was really just getting into the game. And they said she started getting into the game maybe like, 28 or something like that. So listen, guys, if you have a dream, don't give up on that shit, man. Keep going till you see it through.
I think this might be the first time I saw her. Probably. This is the first time I saw her.
Because I think she was probably in I think Deja Vu may have came out before that or something like that. And I think that they was citing that as like her first
probably around the same time.
It's good to see her. She's playing as Angel Davenport, who's supposed to be a famous singer. Now we're introduced to Trumpy, who really ain't with the shits. I guess this is a nigga who really wants this business. He trying to get that shit out of there. So shit gets really tough at an interesting moment. I guess kind of going into what happens from there.
Right. So Trumpy is pretty much the second-hand man to Spats. I guess he grew up with Rooster and all. And you kind of seen him around. So Trumpy was like, all right, man, fuck this shit. You're not getting ready to sit here and sell it to this dude when I've been your second-hand man.
I feel like I should be next up.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill you and this nigga. And I'm going to take care of your shit.
And him.
I'm going to take your shit from you. And basically the killing of both of them he set it up as where they killed each other. And now the responsibility that Sunshine Ace had, he owed
with the club and the business with the liquor.
And he owed Sunshine Ace owed Spat some money. So he owed that money, and if you buy this, then you can have my business. So now that all falls on Big Boy, Rooster.
So now he going crazy. He got to figure out what the fuck he gonna do.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool. Now, Angel is here. She's here in IDLEWILD. She trying to come up, dog. She just trying to make a name for herself, even though it's not herself. So she poses as Angel Davenport, like I said, famous singer, and she basically is booked now at the church. Rooster's trying to figure out a way to fill this bitch up and make some money. She's cute. We think that this is good. So her and Percival actually start to develop a relationship, and they start working on this song and trying to perform it. And I think it's the funniest thing that, one, of course, is not her singing, guys. She's lip singing the fuck out of that.
She doesn't sing. She mentioned that she doesn't sing, but she's not. And
then two, when she started, okay, they wrote the song, you know what I'm saying, but now it's time to perform the song. They performed the song, and the first time it was real rough, you know what I'm saying? It didn't start out the best. It started out real bad. Started out real bad, real sad. Percival had to try to hold her in and say, you know what, just look at me, man. Just think about me, baby. You know what I'm saying? And they went crazy. I've loved that song, Moving Cool. Yeah. I love it.
It was on that...
it was like a greatest hits albums down there. That they just added some
Outkast Presents. And that's one of my favorites. That's right before Speaker Box. And and before we get into their relationship, we got to mention Macy Gray. Macy Gray is one of the singers, one of the lounge singers. As I watch it, she tends to be one of my favorite characters because I think this is like a creative decision that they do. If you listen to her when she's singing, she's always in the background talking shit. How many times you gonna say moving cool? She's on her ass. She's so great. Like, she's on her ass. She's fucking hilarious. The whole movie is just filled with a great cast. She was great. She's always throwing shots. But like as far as their relationship is concerned, Percival and Angel, quote unquote Angel, Sally is her real name. I think that their relationship. Sometimes when you watch movies and you see relationships happen, it feels forced. But I really felt like, I was like, okay, cool. Even if they just met each other, it's one of those situations where it's like, I can see how a motherfucker can just click after that.
Yeah, and
it's
of course,
easy.
if you're making good music, it's just gonna bond like that. And their personalities, to your point, both of their personalities, let's just be real, guys, they're kind of like down personalities. So we see. So it's just interesting to see how they mesh together well. So you definitely saw that display, and their relationship starts to blossom. I think that's pretty cool to see. Yeah. They both fall in love. And I think this is a pretty important point because now, of course, like I said, she's just coming in there to come up real quick. So now she done made a little name for herself that's really not her name. But now, you know, she's granted with the opportunity to perform nationwide now. Right. And the first stop, I think, is Chicago. So, which I think is so funny, back then you could literally pack up your shit in 2 days and be somewhere else.
And people not know who you are.
And people not know. Like, it's just like, you can just pack up. She asked that nigga, hey, in 2 days I'm leaving for Chicago. Come on, let's pursue our music careers.
Not only that, but before people can even realize you aren't who you say you are, because there's no internet, there's no real pictures, this stuff doesn't exist.
Right.
I'm long gone before you realize who I am. We did go deep into Andre's Percival's background. I do feel like we do have to touch on Rooster's. Rooster's background is he's like the womanizer. He's a big family man, and he's about that.
Cheats though.
He's about that. But he's about that life, and I think he does make that turn in the movie. We will get to. Yeah. But yeah,
a big turn.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is a good segue because shit is starting to get hard for Rooster, man. As we saying, Trumpy is making it real hard on my boy. Prices is going up. Yesterday's price isn't today's price. Like, shit just keep going up. He like, damn, the price of this shit yesterday is not the same today. It's different, man.
Inflation.
And
you heard it's hard everywhere on everybody. Yeah, that's really fucked up. And I think Terrence Howard plays that role so perfectly. And I think that big shout outs to the directors and the casting directors, because easily they could have fucked this up by, hey, let's have more rappers, more singers surrounding Outkast. What they did was they said, listen, what we're going to do, we're going to place great actors around them. And as an actor, that's the type of stuff that makes you do even better. So everybody had years of experience, and Big Boy Andre, they're still fresh into it, and that just upped their game. So having them in the scene with Terrence Howard was great. Okay, so the thing now is the price of hooch is extremely high. So basically someone said, well, what I can do, because you my boy, I can spot you for a little bit, but it's got to make sure that he doesn't find out. He said, okay, I got you. He's not going to find out. So basically he was going to make one of his stops. So as he makes one of his stops, I guess he finds out. And so he's killing, pretty much beating up and killing the individual people at this point. Because basically it's like, we'll spot you so you can make your money. And he was like, oh, so y'all going behind my back and giving this nigga my shit for free. So now I got to handle it. That's how he got into that.
So he's on the way to see them. I think it's so good, man. Rest in peace, Cicely Tyson. I think her scene was just, it was simple, yet effective, because she knew exactly, she one of them old school actors that just know how to reach into the pits of your soul. Even the Tyler Perry monologues, they find a way to just seep into your spirit and make you feel a certain way. She gave him a Bible, fam. She told him, you know what I'm saying, just stay steadfast on the word. He didn't even read it.
Nah, man, but that in the Bible itself ended up saving him later on in the movie. But yeah, she's an old school. This is like, she's a stage actor. This was before fame, before Instagram, before like big television. That's what I was saying earlier. You have these actors in these movies with these quote unquote musicians, and they bring out the best in them. And that same thing with Ben Vereen and Andre 3000. Ben Vereen plays Percival Sr. I love how their relationship. Ben Vereen, when the movie starts off, but before the movie starts off, his wife dies, and so I think that is the exact reason why he treats Percival the way he does. He doesn't want him to go anywhere. He kind of like, this is what you're gonna do. Don't try to go do none of the other shit. Don't chase these hoes.
Chicago is a no-go, my dude.
Don't chase these hoes. They ain't
Who
gonna
is
do
this hillbilly chick you done brought in here?
Right, don't chase none of these girls. They gonna leave you. When the actuality, his wife died. And I think that really hit this time around from the last time I saw it. Because I think in our community, I don't know if it's done more by women or men, but that happens. So like if the woman leaves, a man leaves, someone dies, we tend to pass that on to the next generation. Don't believe him, don't believe her, don't be falling in love. I think that shit hit more. When I was coming up and I saw the movie, I was more into like big boy shit. Big boy shit, guns, hoes, drinking. I still love that shit. But now I understand. I was like, oh, I get it. Like, I get Andre 3000 shit. Like, so much I was seeing visually, like him getting ready to hang himself. I don't know where I was at that time, but a lot of that shit didn't hit. So I just saw that shit this morning again. That shit really hit.
Crazy, man. So, shit, where did I leave off? I think we was talking about Rooster. He ends up at the place. Trumpy's there. Listen, man, it's go time. They want to kill this man, and they actually think that they do. They shot the nigga. He end up going crazy at the thing. You see it up here. But the power of that word, God, that Bible was right in there, and it saved his ass. Listen, it saved the fuck out of him. When I remember seeing that in theaters, I remember probably nothing else resonated with my mom but that scene. She was like, yep, that power of God. I said, Mom,
don't it play like a gospel song or like something faintly in the background, and the visuals of it's so straight, so cool. Like as you zoom into the bullet shot, you see like right, you see the words of the Bible, and he's like boom, 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 start shooting. The
cinematography in that movie is really dope.
For the budget only probably being like $10 million.
Yeah. That
is just so visually stunning. I mean, sometimes you see movement slowed down, sped up. You see clocks talking, flash
It's like a music
talking.
video. It feels like a music video.
That's what it is. It feels like a long-form music video, which is really dope. That's so dope. And I feel like that's the thing that a lot of people ask for as far as black people are concerned, because we don't really get a lot of that. We don't get musicals that we like. We don't get that visually stunning shit, those time periods. Everything is here. Everything is deaf, and this. I think that's why it stands out so much.
Definitely. So on the other side of town, Sally B. Shelley comes clean, and now Percival finds out, which was kind of weird because he had like some shit in there, and she thought that he already knew, but he was like, no, wait. Still kind of confused about that situation, but. I don't think he cared if he knew.
No, he didn't. We don't give. Come on, man. We don't give a fuck. Listen, that would be.
He said I'm 3 stacks.
No, that would be the equivalent if you got catfish. You got to somebody's house. It turned out to be the girl that you went to go see, but she actually looked better than the chick that you got catfish to go see.
That actually happened one time, and I was very confused.
Right, but you don't care. Yeah, you're not the right. No, you don't care. The wild part is she got mad at Buddy for. Like you think I
love women sometimes. You gotta love them and their timing and just their way of doing things and their logic.
Right, like you flipped it. You lied to everybody and you mad because I knew that. But now it seems like he would know because he was a musician, so he kind of would know.
Yeah.
And I guess we got to point out that the person she was actually intimidating. She was actually portraying, kind of trying to be or pretending to be, actually was portrayed by Patti LaBelle, who I think is awesome in the little shit I see. Yeah. She was in a commercial recently, an Old Spice commercial. She did some acting. She was in a different world. She's very, she has that. She's very great.
Tried and true.
Bruce has a cameo in there. It's pretty dope.
So pretty much, she find everybody's. We now know who damn Angel Davenport is, and we know who Sally B. Shelley is. 2 totally different people. All right, so fuck that. Let's still go to Chicago. Let's do this thing for real this time. He's like, I don't know. I got so much going on here. You ain't got shit going on here, Percival. Stop being scared. Stop being a. You know what? I ain't even gonna say the word I want to say. Just stop being that.
Hey man,
we have that going on. Back on the other side of town, Shit done got real for Rooster, man. Like I said, he done got up by the graces of God. Now he is on the way back to the church. Which I don't know why he would go back there necessarily. You kind of making yourself
the third
an
act
open
of a
target.
movie. Something has to happen. Quote unquote,
And it has
he
to
had
happen
to
fast.
He quote unquote he had to perform. So
The nigga said, I gotta go back to where everybody knows I'm at to perform for
like
all
I
of my
always
people.
say, a movie got a movie. That's what the fuck happened. A movie has to movie. It has to do what they do.
So the nigga goes back to perform, and lo and behold, hey, Trumpy finds a way there.
Well, we were all at yesterday together. Okay.
It's crazy. So, of course, everybody's going crazy. Oh my God, because Trumpy's ready to cause some havoc. So, how does this end up happening, man? Who dies first?
Who dies first? Actually, like I said,
Somebody let a shot run out.
Yeah. So basically what happens, he jumps on stage, he's getting ready to perform, but hey, make sure y'all tell me if Trumpy gets here. All right, so now he gets there.
He's coming.
Right, he gets there, he has a bag full of money. Basically, they got a gun pointed at me, so it's a little scuffle. Now I have to call it a diversion. I'm gonna throw this money up in the air. Shit's gonna pop off like black people do. He gets mad and starts shooting everywhere. So the first person that's shot is Angel.
And we don't know that just yet.
Not just yet, because Percival actually shoots Trumpy. And that's the main focus at the moment. So after all the commotion, and then we see the Angel shot as well.
The good ones have to go sometimes. Sorry, girls.
Right.
It happens sometimes. Collateral damage.
But you know what? I think that probably is one of 3 movies every time I see where death scenes actually gets me. That's one of 3. One of 3 movies. And I think this time around, I actually got the irony or what was being portrayed here in this movie. Because the opening of the movie, a big thing that Percival says, he says everyone has a part to play. Life is a big stage. Everyone has a life place. People have their interests.
I think that's a Shakespeare line or something like that.
It is. I heard him say it in another song or whatever. So basically, everyone has their interests and exits. So she exits, and he enters into his destiny.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I thought that was so deep that I didn't see the last time around. I didn't see that the last time around. I didn't pick that up. Like, literally. And the irony is that his girl dies. His dad girls die. Anybody would have just said, fuck it, I'm going to go back home and do exactly what I've been doing. But he was like, fuck it, I'm going to go to Chicago.
Yeah, and he just went ahead and went for his destiny, which is interesting. A destiny that you weren't really thinking about for real.
It took
and
that person.
Shawty came and changed your life for the better. It's crazy.
And she wasn't shit to speak of, to be honest. But that person, it doesn't matter if she's famous or not, but it takes that person to see something in you. So with that being said, he's going off. Big Boy is pretty much like, I've had it with this shit. I'm leaving you hoes alone. I'm leaving this shit alone as much as I can.
I'm gonna go back to my family.
Right. And Melinda Williams, she was great.
She did it.
Because she really held that nigga down. And she knew that she really held that nigga down. And they're not doing that these days. Like, don't get it twisted. Black men shouldn't cheat and black men don't cheat. But see, I think like marriage was there's a duty in marriage that back in that time that you understood. They had like 4 or 5 kids, and I got to get this nigga to act right. Nowadays, it's more like, fuck you, I can leave with my 4 or 5 kids. The government will help me. There was no government helping them. So this nigga has to do right. So I thought that was pretty dope. But, you know, the things that happened in the movie kind of strayed him on a narrow path. Yeah. So that was pretty dope. So, yeah.
Listen, man, that's IDLEWILD. That is a beautiful movie. Like I said, just a movie that if we talking Blassics and movies